Hello everyone, can you all hear me? Yes, okay. Good evening guys, sorry for the delay. Welcome to the IELTS webinar all of you. Good evening, how are you people doing? Good evening all of you. Nisarga, Jasmita, Bishwa, Asha. Okay, so welcome to the IELTS webinar all of you. We are going to see the IELTS overview over here about the exam. We'll see about the exam, how important is it in your admission process, how important is it in your permanent residency process, and about everything that is related to the IELTS. How should you prepare for the IELTS exam? Okay, we'll see the overview of the exam first of all, about all the 4 modules that we have: listening, reading, writing and speaking, everything in detail. uh, and then we are going to discuss about the preparation strategy. But before we start, just to know about my audience, I would like to know how many of you are, what are people doing, and what are your future aspirations? Which country are you planning to go? If you're a student, what you're doing currently, what your future aspirations are? Quickly let me know, and then we'll start, guys. I will, Jasmita. We are already learning late. I'll slow down. I'll slow down. I'll slow down when I start. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just I want to know about you people, what you people are doing, and then we'll start. Want to go to Canada, but what are you doing currently? No, guys, just put in what you're doing currently and what your future aspirations are. You have just completed your graduation, Shefali. I want to go to Canada. Want to go to Canada. Swati, for what? What are you doing currently? People, what are you doing currently and what your future aspirations are? Working as a physiotherapist in Kerala, okay. So what do you want to do, Asha? Satya Prakash, BTech. BTech which year, Satya, and what do you want to do in the future? Which country do you want to go to? Currently working as an electrical engineer, to Germany or Canada for masters. Okay, good, good, good. So as I can see that most of you are students over here. Harish, what are you doing currently, Harish? Completed my bachelor's in CSC. I want to go to Canada for masters. Okay, final year, graduate, BSc. Okay, okay, good. Okay, guys, good. I got to know that. Okay. Okay. So what are we going to see in the today's webinar is all about the IELTS exam, guys. How is it conducted and who conducts this exam, who owns this, how is the exam conducted, and about the preparation strategies. Okay, so while I am explaining things, please do not ask questions that are not related to what is going on in the webinar. If you have anything in as such, any other doubts, we'll have a interaction session at the end. You can ask your questions over there. Keep your questions with you. At the end, we will have, after we have discussed everything, we will have 10-15 minutes of interaction session. We'll have a question answer session. I'll take all your queries and we'll resolve that, but do not in between ask any questions that are irrelevant to what I am discussing currently. Okay, so to begin with, I hope all of you are aware of the 2 versions of the exam: general training as well as academic. I hope all of you are aware of it. If anyone who is not aware of what is academic and what is general training, please let me know. We'll start from there. Are you all aware? Okay, software employee, money Deepika. Okay, not aware. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, let's start. So IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. It's said to be an English language proficiency test, which is actually a test of our communication skills. Now, when I say communication skills, there are 4 skills that are tested on the IELTS exam. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Okay, there are modules. These are known as the 4 modules, 4 communication skills that are tested on the IELTS exam. Now, depending upon your purpose of taking the exam, IELTS is of 2 types, you can say. If you are a student and you want to go to abroad to pursue your higher education, then you have to take the academic version of the test. Okay, if you are going for any academic purpose, then you have to take the academic version of the test. Whereas if you are going for any other reason, any non-academic purpose, you have to take the general training version of the test. Okay, if you're planning for permanent residency of Canada or looking for citizenship for any other country, or you're looking for work permit or any other non-academic purpose, then you will take general training. I hope the difference is very clear to all of you. Is it clear? Very good. So let's start with the exam now. So in today's webinar, what we are going to see is what is IELTS, then the test format, the test modules, that is listening, reading, writing and speaking. Okay, now what is IELTS? As I said, IELTS is an exam of our communication skills. See, basically, why do we need to give this exam? We have to give this exam in order to show that we have the minimal level of, we know that the minimum level of English that is required to survive in an English speaking nation. That's the sole purpose of taking the Prerna, please do not ask this question now. Okay, I'll take your question at the end. If you ask this question again, please do not do that. It's distracting me. I'll answer your question at the end, Prerna. Please have patience. I've already read your query. Ask this query at the end of the session. I'll address it. Okay? Okay. Do not ask irrelevant questions in between, guys. Focus on what is going on in the session. You all will have a nice time. You'll learn something. Okay, let's focus on that. If you have any questions, keep your questions with you. At the end, we'll have a question answer session. I'll address your questions over there. But please do not ask these questions now. Okay. So, if you have planned to move to any other foreign country, what is the mode of communication in the country? We assume that the mode of communication is going to be English. So the purpose behind giving this exam is that when we move to an English speaking environment, will we be able to communicate with those people effectively or not? Now, when it comes to communication, what it means is we must be able to communicate ourselves in such a way or express ourselves in such a way that we can make ourselves understood to the people. At the same time, we must be capable of being able to understand. Okay, we must be able to understand what other people are trying to express to us, right? So this IELTS exam gives them the standard. If someone is able to score a 7 bands or 6.5 bands or 8 bands, different people require different kinds of band score. Okay, if you're a student, depends upon which country are you planning to go to. Accordingly, you have to get a band score. If you are looking for permanent residency, then there are a lot of things that you have to look after, such as your age, your marital status, your working experience. A lot of things are there, your educational qualification. So these are the things that they take into consideration while your profile is evaluated for permanent residency. So for both these purposes, the scores required by individuals are different. You cannot generalize the score. That an academic candidate has to score this much, a general training candidate has to score this much. We cannot generalize the score. So depending upon your purpose of taking the test, you have to find out what is the score that is needed for you to clear the exam. Okay, or to get to the desired result for whatever purpose you are taking the test. So they just want to see that if a person has scored this much, it means that they will be able to survive in an English speaking environment. That's it. Now, the exam IELTS is jointly owned by 3 partners: British Council, IDP and the University of Cambridge. Now, there are 2 bodies via which the exam is conducted. British Council and IDP are the 2 bodies that conduct the exam, or you can say that channelize the exam, through which you can take the exam. But be it you take through British Council or through IDP, the question paper, the actual questions that you answer in the exam, is set or determined by the same body, which is University of Cambridge. Prerna, is your question answered now? Okay. So you take through British Council, or this is a very common question. People ask me, sir, what is the difference between British Council and IDP? There is no difference. These are just two bodies which conduct the IELTS exam. The same body determines your paper, whether you take it with British Council or the IDP. The body is same which determines your paper, that is University of Cambridge. I hope this is very clear now. Now, as I said that there are two versions of the exam. There is academic version of the test, which is taken by people who want to pursue their higher education from abroad. There is another type of test, IELTS general training, which is taken by people who want to go to a foreign country for any non-academic purpose. So we will see what is the difference between the academic version of the test and the general training version of the test. Okay. Now about your IELTS test results. Once you have given the test, your test result is valid for 2 years. Meaning that you can use your test score to apply in the universities for 2 years, or for any kind of application process, you can use it until 2 years. After 2 years, your scorecard gets invalid. You cannot use it for any application process. Okay. Now, as I said, IELTS is a test of our communication skills. We are tested on 4 modules: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. What happens is you get a band score over here. You do not get any marks. You get a band score. Individually for all the modules, for listening, you get a band score between 1 to 9 bands. For reading, you get a band score between 1 to 9 bands. Similarly, for writing and speaking also, you get a band score between 1 to 9 bands. These are known as your individual module band score. Therefore, at the end, if you sum up the band score of individual modules and divide them by 4, nothing but the band score of the listening module plus the band score of the reading module plus the band score of the writing and speaking module divided by 4, the sum average, gives you the overall band score, which is known as your IELTS band score. So is it clear to all of you what is the meaning of individual band score and the overall band score? Good. Now there is no passing or failing mark over here, as I said. Depending upon your purpose of taking the test, different people require different score on the test. Okay. It depends upon if you are at university, which university are you applying to. That determines how much you have to score. If you are, as I said, for general training candidates also, there are different kinds of things which determine. If your age is less, you determine maybe less score. If your educational background is good, you might require less score. Okay, depends upon various factors that different people require different scores. So there is no passing or failing mark over here. Now, as people who take the test, they are categorized depending upon the band scores that people get in the exam. They are categorized. Someone who gets a band 9 is an expert user. Band 8, very good user. Band 7, good user, as you can see over here. Okay. So depending upon the band score that people get in the exam, they are categorized in different categories. Now the IELTS test format. There are 4 communication skills that are tested on the exam. Starts with the listening module. Then you take the reading module, then the writing, and at the end you have the speaking module. So listening and speaking is the same for academic as well as general training candidates, but reading and writing modules are different. So we will see what is different for the reading and writing module and what is same for listening and speaking modules. We'll now discuss all these 4 modules in detail. Also, we will see what are the preparation strategies that we can use to prepare for all these modules. So let's see the listening test first. The listening test is of 30 minutes, approximately 30 minutes. So what happens in the listening module is, as soon as you go to the examination hall on the exam day, each and every candidate is given an individual headphone. In those headphones, you will listen to audios for 30 minutes. Different kinds of audios will be played. You have to listen to the audios. You have to understand. You will listen to people talking on a certain topic. You have to understand what are they talking upon. And based on your understanding of those audios, you will have to answer 40 questions. Okay. But there is one thing over here. While at the time that you are listening to the audios, that is the first 30 minutes that you listen to the audios, during this time you are first writing the answers in the question booklet, not in the actual answer sheet. Okay. So while you are listening to the audios, you are writing the answers in the question booklet. Therefore, at the end of the test, that is at the end of the 30 minutes, when your audios are done, completed, you will get 10 minutes of time. You will listen to the instruction in the headphone which will say, Now you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the actual answer sheet. This is when you have to start transferring your answers from the question booklet to the actual IELTS listening answer sheet. I hope that is clear to all of you. Now these 40 questions that we have can be of different question types. As you can see over here, we have form completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart completion, summary completion. There are in total 11 question types from where these 40 questions can be asked. Any of these question types can be present in any of the sections out of the 4. Is everything clear until this point, guys? Okay. Now about the 4 sections that you have in the listening module. First of all, how many questions do we have? We have 40 questions. And how many sections are there? We have 4 sections. So 4 sections and 40 questions means how many questions are there per section? Tell me. 4 sections, 40 questions. So per section, how many questions do we have? We have 10 questions. Okay. So the section 1 is known as a dialogue. The meaning of die is to. So here you will listen to a conversation between 2 people. 2 people talking on something. The topic of the conversation will be everyday social topic or context. What is the meaning of everyday social context? You can simply say non-academic context. For example, you will listen to a person who has gone to a DVD shop to buy a DVD. So you may listen to a conversation between DVD salesperson at the shop and a customer who goes to buy DVD. What kind of a conversation can you expect? What kind of DVDs do you like watching? How often do you watch DVDs? What is the maximum that you can spend on buying a DVD? Right? What other kind of DVDs do you watch? Non-film DVDs, sports DVDs, or comedy DVDs? So you will listen to such kind of a conversation, on the basis of which you will have to answer 10 questions. That is section 1. Section 2 is known as a monologue. Mono means what? 1. So in the section 2, you will listen to just one voice, one person speaking on something that is again based on everyday social context as section 1. So you can say that section 1 and section 2 both are based in everyday social context, that is non-academic context. But the section 1 has 2 people talking, whereas section 2 has one person speaking. An example of a monologue can be when you watch a news channel. You can find one person standing in the studio and reciting the news aloud, right? Reading out the news aloud. So that is one person speaking on a topic which is non-academic, right? Something of general interest, not related to academics. So that's an apt example of section 2. Now the section 3 and section 4 that we have are academic sections. Okay, section 1, section 2, everyday social context, and section 3, section 4, academic context. In the section 3, you may listen, though it's written over here that you may listen to a conversation between up to 4 people. You never, until this date, there has been no audio in the IELTS exam where the students got 4 people speaking at the same time. No. You may have max to max 3 people speaking, or usually it's just 2 people talking. So 2 people talking about something that is related to academics, okay, in educational or training context. For example, you may listen to a student going to his professor and talking about some difficulties that the student is facing in a particular subject. So you may go to the professor and say, "Professor, I am facing difficulty in your subject. Please tell me how I can improve." So you will find that the professor is guiding the student, saying that, okay, these are the materials that you should follow. Go to the library, read this kind of stuff, prepare like this, okay, and any other kind of strategies or inputs that the professor gives to the student. You might have to listen to this conversation and then have to answer 10 questions on that. Otherwise, you may also have a conversation between 2 students. Another example of 2 students talking in an academic environment can be, let's say 2 students in a class have got to do a project together where they have to interview a historian. So in order to accomplish this project, they have a lot of things to do. For example, someone has to prepare the questions for the interview. Someone has to take appointment from the historian. someone has to shoot the video of the interview, someone has to prepare the project, the presentation that they are going to present after the interview, right? They have to make a presentation on the interview. That's the project. So they're discussing between themselves. Let's say Kate and Martin are two students who are discussing between themselves. What responsibility will each of them take? So Kate will say that, okay, I know someone who works in the historian's office, so I'll take an appointment from the historian. Okay, then Robert can or Martin can say that I will prepare the questions for the interview. Okay, then again he may say that I have the camera, so I'll take the video of the interview. Getting it? So they are discussing what responsibilities will each of them take to make this project. Similarly, in the section 4 also, it will be based on same academic context, academic or training context, educational context. Okay, but here you will find one person speaking. So one person speaking on an academic context may be what? Guys, this session that we are having can be an apt example of monologue in an academic environment, isn't it? One person speaking, you'll find a professor speaking on some particular subject. It can be a psychology class, a physics class, a chemistry class, any kind of class it may be, where the professor is addressing the students. Okay, and you might listen to that. You will have to listen to the lecture, and then you will have to answer 10 questions based on your understanding of the lecture. So section 4 is actually a lecture. Monologue in an academic subject means what? It's going to be an actual classroom recorded lecture. Are these 4 sections of the listening module very clear to all of us? Now the skills assessed. So understanding of main ideas and specific factual information. What happens is you may get to listen to various ideas in the audio. But not everything is important to understand in order to be able to answer all the questions. You might listen to audios that are 5 minutes long, 6 minutes long, just to answer 4 or 5 questions. So answers are very much scattered between the entire audio. So you don't have to pay attention to everything that is going on in the audio. You have to identify specific factual information. Recognizing opinions, attitudes, and purpose of the speakers. Sometimes you may find that someone is giving their opinion on something. You will be asked to identify that. Okay, and following the development of an argument, how they are discussing and what is the direction that they are taking. So they start talking about this, then they talk about what, and then they talk about what, right? So you may be asked to follow the development of an argument. Now, how to prepare for the listening module? A few major challenges that the students face in the listening module is, the first one is paraphrasing, guys. What is paraphrasing? What happens? The words used in the question are completely different from the words that you will listen in the audio. The information will be the same, but the words used will be different. For example, if in the question it is written, one of the most remarkable features of Eiffel Towers is blank. So now if in the question they have used the word one of the most remarkable feature, in the audio you might listen to this in a different way. They may say that one of the significant traits of Eiffel Tower is, okay, or they might say a noticeable trait, a noticeable characteristic, they may say. Getting it? So the words used in the audio are completely different from the words used in the question. Therefore, the candidates are not able to understand what is being said in the audio, and they are not able to find the answers in the audio. That's what makes it difficult. So you must be ready with the synonyms of the word, right? Noticeable and significant are nothing but in the example that I gave, right? Noticeable and significant were synonyms of remarkable. So you should not expect the same words to be used in the audio as are used in the question. That is the first trouble that the students face. Second is with respect to the accent. Accent is related to the pronunciation. Many of the students are not able to understand what do they speak, because the pronunciation is not very clear. On the exam day, you may get to listen to different kinds of accents. American accent, British accent, Australian accent, Canadian accent. Different kinds of accents may be tested on the exam. So it is very much important that you are well aware of these accents, you are able to understand all these accents. So how to get access to all these accents, guys? You should start listening to BBC podcasts every day. You can watch BBC News, listen to BBC podcasts, and along with that, start watching TED Talks every day. I hope many of you know about TED Talks over here. How many of you know about TED Talk? TED, TED Talk, not TEDx, guys. TED Talks. Now, why TED Talks? TED Talks because it's a global platform. So speakers from all across the globe come to the TED this platform, and they render speeches or share their experiences on certain topics. So since it is a global platform, you will have speakers from all across the globe. So that is a very good place to find different accents. Okay, Prerna, if you're not aware, you can just search TED, TED Talk, not TEDx, TED Talk. Okay, so that was all about the listening test. Now comes the listening test. As I said, the reading test. Now, listening test is the same for academic and general training candidates, and now we have the reading test. So, reading test is different for academic and general training candidates. We'll see what the differences are. So, first of all, the timing is the same for both the candidates. It's of, yes, TED Talks. Yes, Prerna, TED Talks. Jasmita, there is an app also. It's available on YouTube as well. If you search on YouTube, TED Talks, you will find it. Okay. Now, guys, the reading test is of 60 minutes, where you will have to answer 40 questions. What you actually have to do in the reading test is, few passages will be given to you. You will have to read these passages and understand these passages and then answer 40 questions on that. Mind it that you will have to read somewhere around 2100 to 2700 words on the exam day. And then you will have to answer 40 questions. These 40 questions can be of different question types. You may have true, false not given, yes, no not given, summary completion, sentence completion, answer short questions. Okay, in total, we have 12 question types for the reading module, from where these 40 questions can be asked. Okay. Now, here you don't have any transfer time. We discussed that in the listening module. We have a transfer time. You are first writing the answers in the question paper, and at the end you transfer your answers to the answer sheet. But here you don't have any transfer time. As soon as you listen to the, as soon as you find the answers in the passage, you must write it down directly in the answer sheet. You will not get any extra time. Okay. Now, as I said that the reading module is different for academic and general training candidates, let's now understand what is the difference. How is it different for academic and general training? So, everything is the same for academic and general training candidates. The question types are the same. They also have to answer 40 questions in 60 minutes, both the candidates. But the nature of passages that the candidates get in the academic training and in the general training is different. For academic candidates, the passages will be more of academic nature. Academic nature means what? It will be taken from journals, magazines, science journals, magazines, newspapers, something that is related to academic stuff, more of academic stuff. You will be given some experiment, some kind of study, okay, and will be given in the audio, I mean in the passage to read, and you will have to answer questions on that. Sometimes attached to a passage, you may also have a diagram. There is one question type for the academic candidates that general training candidates don't get. It is exclusively for academic candidates, which is diagram labeling. A passage will be given, and at the end of the passage, you will have a diagram to label. Right. So this is for the academic candidates. So academic candidates will have to read 3 passages. So 3 passages, 40 questions. So how is it divided? You'll find that the first 2 passages will have 13 questions, and the last passage will have 14 questions. Now guys, one thing that you should remember about the listening as well as the reading test is that all the sections of your listening test as well as of your reading test are in increasing order of difficulty, in the listening also and in the reading also. So the first section that you will attend will be, you'll find it a bit easy, and as you progress with the sections, you will find that the level of difficulty also goes on increasing. So the last one you will find to be the most time consuming and a little more complex. For general training candidates now, general training candidates may have to read around 5 passages. Okay, section 1 will contain 2 passages, section 2 will contain 2 passages, and section 3 will contain 5 passages. Right? The nature of passages that the general training candidates get, these are more of general topic series based on environment, on natural environment, on working environment, something that is happening around us. Okay, so very general topics these can be, from ads, company handbooks, magazines, newspapers, official documents. So these are not academic stuff, these are very general stuffs, not related to academics at all. Okay, so these people, general training candidates, will also have to answer 40 questions. Okay, now one thing is that the test for the reading test for academic candidates is a little bit more difficult than the general training candidates. It's easy for general training candidates to be able to find answers for their questions in the exam, whereas for the academic candidates it might not be that easy. That is one of the things that is the difference. The academic is a bit more difficult than the general training. Now the skills assessed over here, reading for gist. Gist means what? Again, not everything is important. Reading for gist, so you must be able to summarize the information. They give you a question type which is known as matching paragraph headings. So in matching paragraph headings, you don't need to read everything. You have to just give a title to the paragraphs. So here you will be asked, you have to just read for the gist. You have to know the overview of the paragraph. What is this paragraph talking about? You don't have to dig into the specific details of the paragraph. Okay, then reading for main ideas of a paragraph or the main idea of the entire passage. Reading for detail. Now there are specific information questions such as true, false, not given questions. They will give you some specific information from a long passage and you will have to find out whether this information is true according to the passage or not. So these questions ask you to read for detail. Then understanding inferences and implied meaning. This is not a very usual question type, very rare. Inference questions you are rarely asked on the IELTS exam, very, very rare. Recognizing a writer's opinion, attitudes and purpose. Yes, you get questions on this as well. You'll find that you will have few passages where someone is expressing their opinion on something. It's not a factual information, it's someone's opinion on something. So you will have to read it, you'll have to understand what is someone else's opinion about something and answer the questions. And definitely following the development of an argument. Now, how to prepare for the reading test? Guys, the first thing is that you have to read. Now remember, if you talk about the usual challenges that are faced in the reading module is, first, paraphrasing, as we discussed in the listening module. The same happens in the reading module as well. The questions that you find, the words used in the question will be completely different from the words used in the audio. Therefore, it will make difficult for you to be able to identify correct answers in the passage. Words used will be completely different, paraphrased. Second challenge is time management. 2100 to 2700 words is what you will have to read on the exam day. In 60 minutes, you have to read so many things and then you have to answer 40 questions. That's really difficult. And it's not wise to read everything. It is not even important to read each and every. You don't have to read word by word and line by line to be able to understand everything in order to answer the questions. It's not required. See, understanding the passage is not the purpose. The purpose is to be able to answer the questions. And to answer the questions, it is not at all needed to read the entire passage. So you need to know the strategies with the help of which you can answer the questions without reading the passage completely. There are two skills that they suggest you to follow. One is known as skimming, the other is known as scanning. All the questions in the IELTS exam can be answered by following these two skills, skimming and scanning. Okay. So you must know, you must practice about how to skim a passage, how to scan a passage. Okay, that is very, very important. You don't have to read the passages at all. If you're reading it now, you have to change it. You have to understand what is skimming, is scanning, and that's what you have to apply. I hope everything about the reading module is clear. We'll move to the writing test now. So writing module will be of 60 minutes and you will have 2 tasks to accomplish here. For the task 1, you will be asked to write at least 150 words, and for the task 2, you will be asked to write at least 250 words. Now, the task 1 is different for academic and general training candidates, and the task 2 is the same for academic and general training candidates. Okay, task 1 is different, task 2 is same for both the candidates. Now let's see what is academic writing test. The task 1 for academic candidates is known as pictorial representation or report writing. Here you will be given a line graph, bar graph, pie charts, diagrams, maps, plans, process, different kinds of things may be shown to you. Pictures can be shown to you and you will have to write a report in at least 150 words. That is the task 1. The task 2 for academic candidates is an essay writing. You have 6 types of essays in the IELTS exam. You will be asked to write an essay on any one of these essay types. Remember that you don't have any choice. One question will be given and you will have to attempt that. Now definitely both the tasks have to be written in a formal style. You're writing an exam, so that has to be completely in a formal tone. Now the general training writing test. As I said, the writing task 2 is the same for academic and general training candidates. Both will be asked to write a essay in at least 250 words. Now at least 250 words means what? You have to write more than 250 words. You have to exceed the 250 count. But the task 1 for general training candidates is a little bit easier. You'll be asked to write a letter. It's letter writing. Now we have 3 types of letters as we know. We have formal letter, semi-formal letter and informal letter. Out of these 3 types of letters, you'll be asked to write letter on any one of these types. Okay. Now, one of the most important things about the writing test is that, do you all think that content really matters? What you write in the essay really matters? Are you assessed on that? What do you people think? The answer is no. Your content does not matter in the IELTS exam. Now to understand this, listen to me and you will understand. Just give me a few minutes and I'll explain this. What you are writing in your essay is not at all assessed. Your creativity is not being assessed, guys. What is being assessed is you should stick to what the topic is asking. Do not write anything which is beyond the scope of what the question is asking. If you digress from the topic, deviate from the topic, the question is asking something else, you could not understand the topic, or you started discussing the topic but then you started writing about something that is not related to the topic, you will definitely be negatively marked. You will lose marks there. But as far as you are expressing your opinions within the scope of what the question is asking, you are writing anything which is relevant to what the question is asking, nobody can question your personal opinion. There is nothing called right or wrong. It's your personal opinion. They are not concerned with that. No one can say that I don't like your answer. No, they cannot say this. They are more concerned with how they write. They have 4 parameters on which they are assessing you. Task response, coherence cohesion, lexical resource and grammatical range and accuracy. Okay, so nobody can question your opinions over here. Please keep that in mind. That's your personal opinion. Nobody can question that. But make sure that you are addressing the questions. Don't write about something that is not related to the question. The question is asking something else. You are writing something else. That should not happen. Okay. So that is about your content. Content simply means write within the scope of what the question is asking. Organization of ideas is known as coherence. Your answers should be coherent. They should be very well logically organized. Then accuracy. Accuracy means how accurate your sentence structures are. Basically, you should use, while you're writing the IELTS exam, the writing test, you should use a variety of sentence structures. you are suggested to use more of compound and complex statements. If you read the band descriptors for the writing test, IELTS writing module, you will find that to get a band 7 in the writing module, it says that your essay under GRA, there is one of the assessment criteria which is known as grammatical range and accuracy. There it's written that if you want to get more than a 7 band in the GRA, your essay should be predominated by complex sentences. Meaning that most of the sentences in your essay should be complex in nature. So these are the things that they are concerned with. They are concerned with your vocabulary. How many good words are you using? And they are concerned with your grammar. How grammatically correct your sentences are. Are you making any grammatical error very frequently? People usually make minor grammatical errors such as in punctuations, in spellings and a lot of things. So they are concerned with that. Okay, they are not concerned with your content until you are writing in the scope, within the scope. So guys, I'm continuously repeating this. Please pay attention. I'm not saying that your content doesn't matter. I'm saying that your content matters, but you should write within the scope of what the question is asking. Until that, your content is absolutely fine. Okay, that should be kept in mind. Now the speaking test is the last test that you give on the exam day. Mind it that your listening, reading and writing tests will be conducted on the same day, but your speaking test is not conducted on the same day. When it is conducted 7 days within your date of listening, reading and writing. 7 days within means what? 7 days before or 7 days after listening, reading and writing, after you have taken listening, reading and writing. Okay. Now this test is of 11 to 14 minutes and this is same for academic as well as general training candidates. The speaking test is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is known as introduction and interview. This goes for 4 to 5 minutes, though it's written 3 to 4 minutes over here. It's not 3 to 4 minutes, it's actually 4 to 5 minutes. So here the examiner will ask you very general questions about yourself. This is the easiest part. It's usually called the warm-up part. It's just a warm-up, you can say. Okay, section 2 and section 4 will actually test you on your speaking skills. So section 1 is a very nominal part. I'll tell you. They'll ask you very general questions. Tell me something about your hometown, about the kind of food that you like to eat, about the kind of music that you like to listen to, what kind of movies you like to watch. Very, very general questions about your neighbors, your family members, your friends. If you are a working professional, then about your work environment. Very, very general questions. You'll be asked in the section 1, part 1 of the speaking. Part 2 is where you will get a question paper kind of a thing where a question will be written. You can simply say it's known as a cue card. You can simply say that it's a small question paper where a question is written. Along with this question paper, so guys, in the speaking part 1, you are not given any preparation time. Remember, in the part 1, as soon as the examiner asks you questions in the part 1, you are expected to answer. You can take a few seconds time, but no preparation time is given over here. You are not expected to take too much of time. If the question is asked, take a few seconds and start speaking. But in the part 2 of the speaking gives you 1 minute of preparation time. The examiner will give you small question paper kind of a thing, and along with it the examiner will give you a blank piece of paper. The examiner will give you 1 minute and will say, now you can prepare your notes on this question in this blank sheet of paper. So you have to make notes on the question that you have got. You can utilize the blank piece of paper that is given to you to make your notes. After the 1 minute is over, the examiner will take that cue card from you, the question paper, and the pen or the pencil with you. But the sheet where you had made notes will be there with you. The examiner will not take that. Why? So that you can refer to that sheet while you are speaking. Okay? So that will be there with you. Right? Now, so after you start speaking, you will be asked to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. It completely depends upon the discretion of the examiner. You will be asked to speak somewhere around 1 to 2 minutes. That completely depends upon you. Upon the examiner, I'm sorry. That completely depends upon the examiner. The examiner may ask you to speak for 45 seconds, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, or 2 minutes. That depends on the examiner. The examiner can ask you to speak any time between 1 to 2 minutes, but it will not exceed 2 minutes. Not beyond 2 minutes. Okay, any time between 1 to 2 minutes. Now, part 3 of this speaking. After that will come your part 3 and the last part of the speaking. Here, the examiner will ask you further question on the same topic on which you were asked question in the part 2. For example, if in the part 2 you were asked questions about communication, let's say. The part 2 topic was communication. So in the part 3, you will be asked question on the same topic. But these questions will be related to, will be intended to know your opinion. Such as, what do you think are the problems that people face when they are communicating via different channels of communication, such as face-to-face conversation or telephonic conversation or emails? Or another question over here can be, what are the problems or what is the difference between the way a man and a woman communicate? So these are different kinds of questions that can be asked, okay, related to the topic of the part 2. You may also be asked to speculate the future. Speculate means to predict the future. They'll ask you questions such as, what do you think or what kind of advancements do you think will be there in the field of communication in the future? So no one has seen the future, right? You will definitely be predicting things over here, right? So you'll have to predict. You have to predict the future. Speculation. These are known as speculation questions. So they may ask you opinion questions or questions which will ask you to speculate. Now here the things that are that they test is your fluency, how fluent you are. Okay, then how well you can justify your opinion. As I said in the part 3, you'll be asked opinion questions, right? So how well you are able to put forward your opinion to someone, how well you are able to explain your point of view to someone, that is important. How well you can use vocabulary words at the right place to express yourself. Okay, then your modulation of tone is taken into consideration. How well do you modulate your tone? You should not speak at in the same tone of voice. You should not be monotonous. That is a part of pronunciation. Okay, so sentence stresses are taken into consideration. So these are the things that are considered in the speaking test. So how to prepare for the speaking module, guys? You should have someone with whom you can talk to in the English language. If you don't have anyone, try to search for a partner. If you're not able to find a partner, remember, you can serve yourself. Start talking to yourself in the language of English. Talking to yourself means you can think in the language of English. Start thinking in the language of English and you will find yourself improving. Start thinking in the language of English. Start writing something on a daily basis. Okay, and read something every day. That is very, very important. This is for all the modules, guys. To learn new vocabulary words, to understand sentence structures, you should practice exercises on conjunctions. Practicing exercises on conjunctions will make sure that you are able to make complex and compound sentences easily. Okay, then prepositions. Students make mistakes with prepositions. Transformation of sentences is what you should practice. So these are few grammatical things that you should practice, right? Now, if you have any questions regarding the IELTS preparation, you can ask your questions now, and anything in general, guys, you can put forward your questions. Yes, anyone, any questions about preparation or about anything? Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you for attending. Can we wear watch for the exam? I'm not sure, Aarti. I think not. A clock will be there. I don't think. I will poor at communication. So if possible to score. Rajendra, I can see that you need to work hard on your English. So start practicing from the basics. Guys, the roots lie in the basics, I always say. Start from the very basic. Tanisha, you can go to IELTS.org. IELTS.org. Mohammed Imroz, you need a 6.5 band. Start preparing. Jasmita, it is available in both the modes, online as well as offline. It's not online, it's computer based test and paper based test. Maximum time required to prepare. No, this is, I cannot generalize this, Soumya. It depends upon a number of factors. Cannot be generalized. Depends upon where you are standing currently, what is your grasp on the language. And I'll tell you that this is something that is, something that you were never taught at school. Complex sentences, compound sentences. Were we ever taught these things in the school? Vocabulary. So these things were never taught. So there are a lot of things that we need to learn to give the IELTS exam. It's not the general English that we speak in the everyday life. So there are a lot of nuances that need to be that is needed to be understood. Okay. Minhaj Ahmed, tell me something about yourself. So Minhaj, I'm an IELTS trainer. Apart from IELTS, I train students for all overseas exams such as GRE, GMAT, IELTS, PT, TOEFL, and SAT. Okay. When will the test usually happen? Nisarga, every month you have 2 to 3 dates. IELTS is conducted every month, at least you have 2 academic dates and 2 general training tests. Every month you have it usually. Monica, yes, currently it's online only. Not online, computer based test. Rajendra too, I would say that listening is where you can score, Rajendra. Comparatively easy. If you practice well, you can definitely get a good score. So any question regarding preparation, how to prepare, or if you are looking anywhere to prepare, guys? How much bands a graduate student required? Prerna, I already answered this. It is a very general question and cannot be answered because it depends upon which university are you applying to, which country are you planning to go, which trade do you want to take, what is your academic background, what age do you have, what is your work experience. A lot of questions are there. Getting it? So it cannot be generalized. That's a very general question. So don't ask this question. It cannot be generalized. If you can be a bit more specific, I will answer your question. Where do you want to go? Which university are you planning to apply to? I may answer your question. Does age decide the band score? Not at all, Ahmed. It has nothing to do with age. How many times can we attempt this exam? There is no restriction, Garima. There is no restriction as such. How to improve reading skills? Okay, so guys, we have got many requests from the students. Just a minute. We have got many requests from students about the exam. So we are conducting our own course, guys. If you all are looking forward towards some kind of assistance for the IELTS course, so we are providing our own course for IELTS. Would like to tell you all about this course that we are conducting, guys. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. So this is IELTS preparation made easy. The course that we are providing, our own course. So this is a 24 hours live training. Just give me a minute, guys. Yes. Okay. So we are conducting our own course, guys, the live training, where uh, we are providing 24 hours of comprehensive course on the IELTS exam, where everything is covered. Everything that is required for the IELTS exam is covered in this course. It's a comprehensive IELTS course. Now, I would like to tell you all about this course that we are conducting. This is a 24 hours course, and the validity of this course is 6 months. We have 4 modules and it's of 24 hours, which means that for each module we are giving 6 hours. Okay. So every Monday to Thursday we have training. So let's say on a Monday we start with let's say the listening module. So Monday to Thursday we have the class of the listening module, and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday our students write sectional mock related to the listening module. Okay. So again in the next week you have Monday to Thursday we have classes. Let's say we start with the reading module. So Monday to Thursday we complete the reading module, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday we have again sectional test. Similarly with the writing module as well as the speaking module, we complete the classes first and then the students write the sectional mocks. After the completion of the entire course, we are providing you unlimited full length mocks. Okay, we are providing you unlimited full length mocks, guys. Also, all the classes that are taken, once you enroll with us with the GT Cube for this course, you get a validity of 6 months. Okay, means you can attend the live classes multiple times within 6 months. Also, you can take unlimited mocks within 6 months. Sectional mocks, you will be first given the sectional mocks, and after that full length mocks, unlimited full length mocks. Okay, so you will get a login ID password. Every student who enrolls with us gets a login ID password. On your dashboard, everything is uploaded. All the materials will be provided to you. You don't need to buy any material. Apart from that, every class that is taken is recorded, and the video of the class is uploaded on your dashboard so that you can watch these videos at your own convenience anytime. Okay, these videos will be there on your dashboard until 6 months. So within these 6 months, if you want to attend the live classes, you can attend the live classes, or if you want to watch the videos, you can watch the videos. Any way it's possible, the way you want to do. Okay, so if you have any queries regarding this course, you can ask about it now. Apart from that, we are providing other services also, such as the evaluation services. This is for people who feel that they can do listening and reading by themselves, but they need someone to evaluate the writing and speaking. For those people, we are providing evaluation services. Okay, where we are giving you 5 writing and speaking mocks. Then this is a full length mock test series, guys, where you get 5 full length mocks. Listening, reading, writing and speaking, 5 full length mocks. And this is a live training that I told you about, a 24 hours course. And at the end, we have our most powerful tool, which is personalized training. There are few candidates who say that, sir, I am very weak with English language. I want to start from the very basics. Now, to start from the very basics, you can go with the personalized course, which is a self-paced course. This is a one-to-one session, that is a session between a trainer and a student only. This is not a batch. A one-to-one interaction between the trainer and the students and the student. There is just one student. So a self-paced course, the way you learn. So here we start with the very basics. We discuss the grammar part first, whatever is required for the IELTS exam, and then we move to the actual IELTS content. If you have any queries regarding this course, or you're looking somewhere to enroll yourself, you can ask your questions now. How to improve your reading skills? Krishna, it's not about improving your reading skills. If you really want to get a good score on the IELTS reading module, learn how to skim and scan, as I said. Try applying these 2 passages. Don't read the passage. Try to apply skimming and scanning. So guys, we are conducting a free demo class tomorrow, a 1-hour demo session tomorrow at 3 p.m. The link of which will be sent to all of you. So all of you are welcome. You must attend this live demo session tomorrow. The topic of the session is, we'll discuss the essay writing, that is the writing task 2, which is the same for academic as well as general training candidates. We'll discuss that tomorrow. 3 to 4 p.m. is the demo session. If you're interested, you must attend. We'll discuss everything that is related to the essay writing. Okay, about the preparation, which books? Nisarga, that's why. Unfortunately, there are not many good materials available in the market about the preparation. So if you enroll with us, we are providing our own compiled materials. One thing that I can suggest you is the IELTS official guide. Okay, the Cambridge official guide for the IELTS exam. Exam fee and registration process. Mani Deepika, you can go to ielts.org. That is the official website of the IELTS. 13,650 is the, sorry, 12,650 is the exam, this fee. And your paper-based test. Saket, there are few things that you need to consider. First of all, thank you. Saket, first of all, the thing is that in the computer-based test, you will not get 10 minutes of transfer time in the listening module. In the paper-based test, you get 10 minutes of time. First, you write your answers in the question paper, and at the end of the 30 minutes, you get 10 minutes of time to transfer your answers. You will not get this time in the computer-based test. That is the first thing. And the second thing is that you will have to type your entire answer for the writing module. So only if you are very good at typing, you have practiced a lot, you are good at typing, then only you should go for the computer-based test. These are two things that you should keep in mind while you're deciding what to take. Computer-based test or the paper-based test. Now it's 14,000. Okay, maybe. If possible to score at 7 in speaking. Rajendra, you need to work hard. So forget about the score now. Forget about the score. First work on your basics. Work on your basics. Start with a very basic grammar. Okay. Start practicing from there and then only think about the IELTS exam. So start from the basic first. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much guys. Looking forward to you all attending the demo session tomorrow. The timing is 3 to 4 p.m. The link will be shared to all of you. It will be conducted on the Google Meet. The link will be shared. Thank you all of you for staying till the end. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Okay. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Tanisha, sir, due to COVID, this paper-based exam can we still give? No, Tanisha, computer-based test, paper-based test is not going on. We have only computer-based test now. Thank you.